So while we're on the discussion of kind of like gaming platform news, I would also like to talk about Optic Gaming. Now, this last Call of Duty tournament, unfortunately, from my understanding, is the final time we will see the true Optic Gaming. I think they took third place. Third place in the most recent Call of Duty tournament. And obviously, Call of Duty is going to be making the change over to Modern Warfare come October. End of October-ish, I think, is when that game comes out. And a lot of people, I mean, for me personally, Optic Gaming was really the first...
Dude, it paved the way.
Yeah, I mean, they were the first gaming team that I ever even think I knew about. Like, at least, maybe not super early on, because I was a Gears of War player, so I did know some Gears of War teams. But they were even a Gears of War team back in the day. Like, Optic was a team. And then, obviously, Call of Duty is where they really flourished and took it to the next level. But if it wasn't for Optic, man, I really don't know if competitive gaming would have ever gotten to the point it did. Even like the YouTube. I remember when I had my own little team control back in the day. It was a YouTube team, and Optic Gaming is kind of what we were striving to be. Like they like I said, paved the way. They just did. They did everything right. It was crazy. They did, and they did it kind of on all levels. You know, they not only did in the competitive gaming aspect with esports, but they also did it in personality stages. Like, they brought in such good personalities. They did a great job of creating content and streaming. And I mean, their YouTube channels, all the Optic guys on YouTube were huge. They just did such a good job of kind of making you feel like you were a part of the organization as a fan. And, you know, I was always super, I wouldn't say envious, but I always admired how Optic kind of handled, you know, and paved the way for esports. Obviously, like, I kind of fell out of love with Call of Duty, but I never fell out of love with Optic. You know, I met Optic Hex very, very, very long ago, very early on, before Optic really truly got to where, you know, they are or where they were now. So if you guys did not know, some unfortunate news went down, and Optic Gaming is no longer Optic Gaming. So what happened was, I think in like 2017, the owners of, like, I think it's called Limited Entertainment. Let me take a look to make sure I get all these names right, because there was kind of like a convoluted mess on the business side of things. But basically, Optic Gaming was sold. They were acquired from, or excuse me, Immortal Gaming Club announced the acquisition of Infinite Esports and Entertainment, and Infinite Esports and Entertainment owned Optic Gaming. So Immortal Gaming actually bought Optic from Infinite, and the reason they did that apparently is to dissolve Optic so they can take their league spot, their LCS spot. Which is...
Okay. It might be a different... But I'm pretty sure Immortals... They already have an LCS team.
Yes. So, yes, that is correct.
If that's the same Immortals.
That is... It's the exact same Immortals.
Okay.
Now, the reason this is really messed up is because a former member of Optic took over kind of the business side of things, I guess, when Hex left. And unfortunately, you know, I think when Hex left... He was under the impression that the team was going to be ran, you know, kind of how it's always been ran. It was going to stay Optic Gaming. You know, Hex built Optic Gaming from the ground up. It's his baby. You know, obviously the man sold it at one point. He made some money. I mean, that's what you do when you create a company. But, I mean, I think Hex always did that with the mindset that, hey, I really want Optic to stay Optic. I want it to, you know, stay true to what we built, the foundation. And unfortunately, a former member, and I'm not going to name him. A lot of people probably already know who it was, but I don't really want to feed into the witch hunt. But it was a former member of Optic. He kind of took over operations, and he was the one that was kind of a part of the business deal that went down between Immortals and Infinite. And he was kind of the one that pushed this acquisition of Optic Gaming for Immortals. And kind of just blindsided all of Optic Gaming, blindsided all their pro teams. They dropped the Gears of War pro team. And now, like I said,
super successful,
which was super. Oh, one of the most dominating.
Literally, I don't think lost.
They won the first Gears of War 5 tournament immediately under a different name. Like they are one of the most dominating esports teams I've ever seen. Like they are incredible at Gears. It's really unfortunate news, and I know a lot of people who are Optic fans and Call of Duty fans and all that. Like this is some shitty news, like actually shitty news that this has happened to such a monumental generational organization.
Established too.
I mean,
that's the scary part.
Yeah, the Green Wall is. Yeah, it's everything. It's huge. Optic. Yeah, if it can happen to Optic, it can happen to anybody. Yeah. And I think this was kind of almost a slap in the face for like the gaming community in general too, because now they're like, holy shit, like this really is a business at the end of the day. Like esports has become such a business that people are gonna be scummy. There's so much money involved that some people just want the money. Like they're just gonna sell and run. And
well, I mean, you got famous rappers, sports people, like everyone investing into esports teams because they understand now, like it has taken off so much that they realize how much money is actually in gaming and actually in esports. Yeah.
So I think this is a really emotional final tournament for Call of Duty, especially, all these long time Optic fans. A huge shout out to the Green Wall. You guys are dedicated and awesome. And I think, I've never been a diehard Optic gaming fan, right? I like a game. I like the esport.
They're like OGs though.
But they're the OGs, exactly. And I've always liked, a lot of their players that they've had. I've had a good relationship. I met Nate Shot early on when he was a part of Optic. I met Scump. I've known Scump since he was just a kid, like literally like 15, 16 years old, little tiny Scump. Now he's just, now he's Scump God. He's amazing.
The man.
Crimsix, Crimbot, I've known him forever. Like I've just known a lot of these guys. So to see this happen to him, man, this one kind of messed me up a little bit.
I mean, they're all like ridiculously good at what they do. I'm sure they won't be without a team. Their futures are bright still. All the players and stuff. I'm more. From the sound of things, I'm more concerned with like the internal workings of Optic, the rest of the people that kind of make the world go round for them. Like what are they left to?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, that's really all the info I really know. I think a lot of things are still kind of behind the scenes. It's kind of messy. I think a lot of people don't really want to talk about it, and there's a lot of rumors out there. So, but that I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that because I know this has been an emotional last couple days for Optic in general, and unfortunately that might be possibly the last time we ever see Optic Gaming compete. So it's a bummer, man. It's an absolute bummer.